welcome back to the Realist Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing? Yeah. You know I'm back. You see me? I'm back and I'm fresh too. Yeah, I had to take a little rest because, well, I tell you, when you get a day job and it's demanding, you know how to do one thing. You have to perform. Yes, indeed. So that brings us to the show tonight. Foreigners that learn false truths show. I want to be real specific and honest tonight. Let's get a little music playing first. Let's be cool because we want to come across the way we want to tonight, and we want to tonight. We're not going to start no strife. We're going to be very specific and honest. Oh, this is the wife. Hey, baby. Hey, Shucks. I'm doing the show. How you doing?
Dad, where are you?
I'm in the office.
Let me come in.
Come on, Sugar Boo.
Yes.
All right,
Don't you dare. Jimmy.
girl. Come on. My baby want to participate tonight, so we're gonna let her do that.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, beautiful.
Guess what?
What?
You know somebody named Mr. Frank Lee?
Mr. Frank Lee? I don't think so.
Well, he said that he knew you and Mommy.
Frank Lee, huh?
Yeah. Last name Lee, first name Frank.
I might know Mr. Frank Lee. I don't know, but if he knows me and Mama, there's a possibility. So tonight's show, Sugar Baby.
And when he said that in the class, everybody said, "Do you know my hair? Do you know my hair? Do you know my birth?" And I'm like,
You were nervous?
because I was like, "Everybody, calm down."
Okay.
Everybody,
That's my Sugar Baby. Anyway, all right, let Daddy do his show, okay?
I can show my face on the
You'd already showed your face. Let me do my show. I got to do my show. It's a real show tonight.
Maybe on my show. Maybe on the show. I didn't get to be on there.
We got to plan the show for us to do, my love.
Well, Mommy says I can be on it. She says I can be on it though.
I told you, but this is when we plan one, okay? This is my show. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. You don't be singing. Come on, I got to do my show. No, not tonight. Tonight
Can
is
everybody
not.
see me?
Yes. All right. So,
Hello.
hello, Nova. Everybody sees Nova. Yes, indeed. All right. Let me play my music. All right. Here we go. Oh, my lovely daughter. Hey. Come on. Let Daddy do a show. Serious business. All right. Hey, get Mommy's phone. All right. Close the door. My darling. It's always lovely to have beautiful kids. I have a beautiful kid. All right. Tonight's show. Yeah. Let's get back to business, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Let's turn that down a little bit. All right, that's cool. I can deal with that. But check it out, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight's show, Foreigners That Learn False Truth Show. See, the thing is, it's not always what we know about you. It's what you do not know about indigenous American Indians, FBA, black people here in America, indigenous here to this land in this country. Y'all like to color my drink tonight? Yeah. It's 7:30. I have had a tumultuous couple of work days, but guess what? We got through it. We got things accomplished, and that's what's important. You live to keep going another day. It's called discipline, and it's, honoring what you do and having to get through it. So, hey, that's life. If you live the life of Danny D, everything you do, you have to pursue with some real intent and the ability to be successful or to learn a lesson to live to come back another day. That's how we live. That's how we get out. It's gonna be a special show tonight because as you see, I'm back in the domain, the specific studio, the office studio. Yeah, it feels good to be back up here because I needed this refreshment. As a reminder, also to never get too far get too far off base from while we do this. I like to have fun. I like the other side, but this side, you have to bring it back home and bring it back to the fold, so people know where you're really coming from. All right, we back to business tonight with the good book shares. You see, I got my little tunes playing tonight. I hope you like it. So we're just gonna come at you real tonight with the book shares. Like I said, I think there's a lot of misconceptions that people move here, and they are so absorbed with the propaganda that they think they know about the indigenous class here. See, now we're starting to embrace our prestigious values, our prestigious likenesses. When you say we didn't have culture, now you know. That's why we're putting our history on display. That's why you're letting you know how we have affected your life, and you may not have even known that. So when you come to this country, you realize, wait a minute, everything that I thought I knew about them people isn't true, especially when you meet us up close and personal. See, we are a very prestigious class of people simply because of a few reasons. We've been through everything that you're going to experience for the first time. We've been through it a million times over. You know, America is a very perplexed place. It's the one place on the planet that has is big. For one, North America is big, and it has an indigenous class of people, and it has all types of people that have amalgamated here throughout time in the world. These are things are true. So it became a place of the indigenous class here, like myself, never wanted to be, I would say, we didn't want to disappear. So you ever thought about, we never ever given ourselves the title of African American? Never have. Never. When you have these intricate conversations with us, you'll start to understand, like, hey, well, damn, what's your story? And when you hear these amazing stories that come from us, you're like, wow, that's different. I understand. And so when you have to understand how we as a whole are starting to wake up with a different mindset. We're starting to realize, and we ain't even waking up no more. We're just moving forward, full speed ahead, with no brakes. See, that brings about a different confidence in the people. That means, so all I had to do was worry about what I was trying to do and what I needed to do for myself and for me and my likeness, my kind, or maybe just for me, and that should be recognized. Because a lot of times people lose a lot of focus. They lose a lot of ambition due to the mischievous natures of people that they are even connected to. That's why I tell you, the outside energies that people try to push on you, you have to deflect, because you have to cocoon yourself into what you want and what you need for yourself and you. How do you think you can be a better person to others? How do you think you can love, at least even love another? The only way you can do that, the only way you can actually participate in loving someone else, is you have to completely submit to yourself as far as love and how you can really build yourself into the being that you want to be. It's not what you think, though. It's not like you gotta dispel anybody else or bring anybody else down to lift yourself up. You just have to participate in understanding how you are important to give the best that you can give to other people. But let's get back to the show tonight. Because I had to give, I always got to give you a rundown for my people. You know what I'm saying? I always got to tell you the truth from my perspective because I'm not trying to beat down on nobody else, but we finna get it going. All right, let's go. See, what you don't understand, foreigners, we are the pure indigenous class. When you say Amaru, the Amaru, the American Indian, you say, you think about this. You think about this a couple of ways. Like you think in your mind, coming from the East, you're like, yo, man, you have a very perplexed way of thinking about things. No, I have a very proper way of thinking about things because I didn't address anything about how another kind of people I address you from specifically my history, my mystery, my mastery. You understand? So that's specific and that's not using any leverage, from any other kind of formidable way. So I have to address you specifically. But then when you think about the people that I do know and that I'm connected to and I have communications with, we solidify ourselves in understanding who we are. All right, so let's get to it. All right. I am from here. The Fugitive Slaves on the Atlantic and Southern Frontiers by Matthew J. Calvin. This is where I'm from, aiming for Pensacola. All right. I told you I was going to do some book shares, right? Because I got to educate foreigners about the indigenous, who we are. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. Despite the widespread, this is Wars of the 1812 Negro Fort. Despite the widespread fears of Jackson Patterson and other British attacks in New Orleans, failed to produce a racial Armageddon. To contrary, the United States deceived the victory of the British in the Battle of New Orleans in January 1815, ensuring the preservation of the racial status quo through New Orleans and the vicinity. Still, even in the defeat of the British delivered another blow to those who claim ownership of the black people, who removed several hundreds of bounds people from the New Orleans and the surrounding plantations to Dolphin Islands in the mouth of the Mobile Bay. Beginning in February, America representatives, including the assortment of the prominent planters, met the British leaders in the Gulf Stream to discuss the terms of the peace set forth in the Treaty of Ghent, which brought the War of 1812 and a formal conclusion in particular to return the fugitive slaves to the point. However, the British refused to negotiate. By the end of March, the frustrated United States Major Joseph Woodruff reported that Jackson, the British General John Lambert, agreed to every article in treaty except the part relationship to slaves, and is totally incomparable with the spirit of Constitution, and the government recognized slavery at all. Lambert promised that he would try to convince the fugitive slaves on the island to return to their owners, but would not use force to compelling those obedient to permit to be used within the British lines. The British honored their promise, and the fugitive slaves from New Orleans, who, with the exemption of the small number who claimed to return to their owners, became free British subjects in parts of Florida, the Bahamas, Trinidad shortly after running away. I would read more, but I hope you understand that was a whole mouthful. It has the American counterparts where they sent the Pensacola delegation in the British post of the Alapiscola River to recover the Los Negros, que en dicho passage dejas refugiando en hasdido levados por atrás. This is Spanish, people. The Negroes who had fled and been carried hither by the English troops belonging to the inhabitants of the town and province. So when you people don't understand, foreign people or foreign Negroes that come to this land, you don't understand two things. We have fought in every single solitary battle for our existence. And when you come here with the attitude as your better. We didn't leave here. We didn't. My people never left their home land. We stayed here, fought for it, fought for every little inch and nick and cranny that anybody have ever gave us because we just said, we wasn't gonna be your enslaved people. Just even from that inception and beginning. And that's just the truth. Never wanted to be no one slave and couldn't be. Didn't have the mentality. Let's go a little further. I love this book. This is the wrong one. I like this one, that one, but I love this one too. This is the one I wanted to grab. This right here. This one right here. This is the one I wanted to grab for you. All right. I love reading passages out here and showing you the specifics of what existed with culture. Hold on, I gotta get to this one right here. Yeah. There you go. Told you I was gonna do some book sharing tonight. Dispelling misconceptions. The source of Library of Congress, Geography, and Map Division. You see the indigenous class of people. So here they are. Yep. You see the indigenous class of people here. Also here. Okay. I love that book. So I would ask any foreign person in this country to at least learn the history, learn who we are, so we can, you have a different depiction. See, it's different when you know something for yourself and when you understand the respect level has to change. When you want to have distinct conversations, at least you can do is be precise and correct. Why should a black indigenous person or black indigenous American ever give so much reverence to everybody else and not learn who we specifically are? Wouldn't that be atrocious? Wouldn't that be an awful shame? That would be fucked up, right? But see, sometimes it takes time in order for people to really, get their mindset back in tune with themselves properly so that we understand equations like this. When you position yourself to believe everything that someone has ever told you about you, think about how leaving yourself out with putting messiahs above you, putting all these different intricate things where you never learned you or anything about history, for that matter. I told you the human history, the human lexicon is over 300,000 years old, but you still got people stuck on 6,000. That's just bizarre. I'm sorry. That's a bizarre, complete misconception. So here on the Will Is podcast, we like to do a few things like discuss books. We like to talk about history. We like to talk about your personal stories. You know what I'm saying? Help you think about what would help you specifically. You would understand how much knowing more about you will help you specifically within your life and your destiny and your journey forward. That should mean something to you. It really should. It meant everything to me, which is why it made it so such a thing to even start this podcast first and foremost. So I would also like to tell you how much I appreciate you for subscribing. I appreciate you so much for just sharing, loving the show, and man, I have to give you the best that I got because I appreciate you for tuning in. You understand what I'm saying? So check it out. All right, we're gonna get to the next chapter of the show. Give me a second. Yeah, doing a lot of work, ladies and gentlemen. Be patient with me. Be patient with me. All right, cool, good to go. All right, got that taken care of. Next book I want to discuss: Power versus Force. But first of all, I want to define power and force before we get into the book. You see, force is always used to intercept power. Force always is in the wheelhouse of just wanting power through force. But what if I tell you power is an inside out organic force? It's, I guess the best way I'm trying to describe this is it's just like the reason why here on the Will This podcast we teach you to learn something new every day, learn more about you every day, is because you understand how to yield your power from within without an outside influence. That's the ticket. And the reason why we're going to expound about that a little bit more, but what I'm trying to explain is from the specifics of understanding who we are as an indigenous people. We understand that people come here with a lot of force. Yeah. To take. So what Black Americans are doing is understanding our true power. Look at the Democratic Party. They're shattered. Completely shattered. Look at some businesses and organizations that just had their hat hung on what? Black, indigenous American being the capitulant class forever. Never going within and, having the intestinal fortitude again to do for self. The reason why I'm not so fiery on this show is because I just want to really have a conversation sometimes, chill out and work it out mentally, because when you think about how many people come here to take, intercept, enforce their wills, I think we're starting to catch up and realize it's time to enforce your own will from within. So, a lot of the ill-mannered, ill-will ways that has been, implemented on people here, it's time to adapt. It's time to formulate a new way, because it's a lot of things that are changing. A lot of jobs. They reported the job numbers on MSNBC. They said they had like 14,000 jobs that were created. That's dismal. America's changing. There's going to be some hard times coming if we don't understand how to reformulate, you know, the mindset. It's wild, man. Power versus force. David R. Hawkins. This book discussed quite a few things tonight. And I went through this before with you guys. Part one, tools. We talk about tools a lot on this show. Critical advances in knowledge, chapter one. Let's discuss that. Page 59. Let's talk about that. Yep, critical advances in knowledge. All right. The evolution of work, which began in 1965, was fostered by the developments of numerous scientific fields, of which three were special importance. Clinical research on the psychology of the nervous system and the holistic functions of the human organism resulted in the development in 1970 of the new science of kinesiology. Meanwhile, in the technological arena, computers were being developed that were capable of millions of calculations in milliseconds, making possible of new tools of artificial intelligence. Yeah. This abrupt access to formerly inconceivable masses of data begat a revolutionary perspective in the natural phenomenon chaos theory. Simultaneously, in the theoretical science, quantum mechanics led to advanced theoretical physics through associated mathematics and a whole new study of nonlinear dynamics emerging. This was one of the most far-reaching developments of modern science, the long-term impact of which has yet to be realized. Kinesiology exposes for the first time the intimate connection between mind-body, revealing that the mind thinks with the body itself. Hence, it provided an avenue of exploration of ways consciousness reveals itself in the subtle mechanics behind its disease processes. Advanced computers permitting the depiction through graphics and vast amounts of data disclose unsuspected systems within which has been ignored by Newtonian's physics and indecipherable or meaningless chaotic data. Theoreticians in the device fields were certainly able to intimate a coherent way of understanding data that has been considered incoherent or nonlinear, diffuse, and chaotic, and therefore inaccessible through conventional probabilistic logic theory and mathematics. Well, see, all this shit they saying is talking about what left and right brain is. You know, left brain is purely logical, is how certain people identify, and right brain is the whole fundamental scope of it all. So yeah, I understand what they're saying, but when it comes to power versus force, that's the difference. One is organic and the other is a learned behavior through a chaotic nature of pushing through trying to achieve something that it can't organically achieve, so it has to take and be a brutal methodology, so to speak. So I know this was a stretch show because I wanted to put a few pieces of things together, helping you understand Foreigners That Learn False Truths show. Some of y'all gonna say he's totally off basis. No, no. This is the Wheel This podcast. So this is the show that is gonna make you think about the understanding of an indigenous person and how their journey is vice a person that comes here to push their way. I made a lot of examples, but I read them out, and I've also was very specific in a subliminal way. Some things you can't say. Um, uh, oh, I don't want to say some things. I just don't want to say a certain way. It takes the fun out of the show. It takes the mystique out of it. So anyway, that's the show tonight. I'll be back tomorrow. I had to keep it educational and control my energies. You understand? I have an immense amount of work to do next week. I appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you. I know this was a little of an over the head type of show, but just come back and listen to it. Get a full understanding of what my perspective really was. And if you have any questions, leave comments. I'll be happy to break it down for you. So that was the purpose of it too. Just couldn't give everything away. But check it out. That's the show tonight. I hope you love it. I hope you understand that I'm gonna come with some more heat a little later. Not today though. Gotta keep it cool. I just wanted to come back and see you, show you some give you some different perspectives, about how, again, foreigners that learn false truths show. See, a lot of things that I read that you didn't really pick up on, you would never hear that out of HBCU. That's indigenous history. Yeah, but I hope some of you got that. But if you didn't, check it out. Listen to it again. All right, but check it out. Oh, that's the show tonight. I ran over a little bit of my time that I wanted to do. I really wanted to do just 25 minutes, but hey, get a little long-winded. But check it out. That's the show tonight. It's the favorite part of the show. And remember, the will is yours. Be cool, people. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back with AE soon.